Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Divorced Woman's Guide podcast. I am so excited that you have tuned in today because I am here with my dear, dear friend, Bella Gandhi of Smart Dating Academy. Hello, Bella.
Hi,
How are you? Welcome.
so good. I'm delighted to be here talking with my pal Wendy.
Oh, thank you. Bella is joining me today, you guys, to talk about something I have anxiously been awaiting to talk with Bella about, and that is dating during peak dating season, which is right now, everybody. So you guys need to turn this up. You need to put this as a saved podcast that you guys need to refer back to because Bella is the dating expert. She is the person I send all of my clients to, the person that I refer out to everybody because her tips work. And we're going to dive into that topic in a moment. But first, let me share a little bit more about how wonderful Bella is. So Bella is a dating and relationship expert. And as I mentioned before, she's the founder of Smart Dating Academy, as well as a weekly media correspondent. She is a relationship expert that has been featured on most national and local media outlets and launched her business, Smart Dating Academy, back in 2009, which has quickly become one of the nation's top date coaching firms. And she teaches busy, successful professionals to jumpstart their dating lives successfully. And the Smart Dating Academy is described by its clients, or rather is equivalent to going to Harvard Business School, but it's for dating and relationships. And Smart Dating Academy's coaches become personal trainers for their clients' love lives, and their coaching program is 100% results oriented and a lot of fun. And it helps you to clarify who is right for you, to stop those old dating patterns, which I know many of you fall victim to, and to start using technology the right way. So, Bella, oh my goodness, we are in the heat of dating season. And as we were chatting about before, I was saying to you that I've had so many people reaching out to me going, Wendy, you have a new relationship. How did you find this person? What am I doing wrong? So as we are diving headfirst into this peak dating season, right? And there's a lot of people that I know that, me being one of them, and also a lot of people that I speak to, clients that I talk to, getting back into the dating scene, especially after divorce, is really scary. It is, if anyone else out there is like me, I married my ex-husband out of college. Dating apps did not exist. And the thought of getting on them was terrifying to me. But that's the way of the world now. So, how can people not only take advantage of the peak season that we're in right now, but also to start overcoming their fears of the technology of dating?
There's a lot in that question. Like Wendy said, this is peak dating season. So get excited. What does that mean? So let me ground it in some fact and data for you. 48% of adults in this country are single per the census. Okay, so that's almost half of people. And at January 1st, they've made resolutions. I want to get out there and date. I want to try an app. I want to fall in love. I want to get married. Any of those things, right? So what that does is it drives this nice clip of people online. So much so that Sunday, January 3rd was the busiest online dating day of 2021. Match reported a 98% membership increase on that day.
Wow.
And so now, if you might be scratching your head going, what? Did I miss the party? Not at all, guys. The party's just getting started. There are plenty of new fish in the sea. So peak dating season officially continues on until Valentine's Day. So this is a great time. So I hope you're rolling your sleeves up, you're putting your thinking caps on, you've got your pens out, you're taking notes, but this is literally the right time for you to think about doing this. And Wendy, you asked about dating after divorce, right? There's a lot of fear and trepidation around that. I think to know that you're in a good place, have you done the work internally, right? Have you done your work? Have you had those conversations in the mirror? Have you done your self reflection? Have you been in therapy? Do you know why you picked the person you were with? Do you know what your role was in all of this? Do you feel you've emerged better, brighter, stronger? Does the thought of going out on a date put a spring in your step? Then I think you're ready to dip your toe into the dating pool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I can tell you from firsthand experience that when I first got back into the dating scene, I started dating people just like my ex-husband, which was not serving me, right? There was a reason we weren't married anymore. And it's so important that you get to do the work on you before you put yourself out there. And part of what actually helped me with dating was, as I was doing the work, as I was getting to know myself, as I was identifying me today and really listening and hearing my voice for the first time, it was really empowering to also start going on dates and meeting people and stepping into that power. But I also know that, when I admitted just a second ago, is that there were still mistakes that I made along the way. So I can only imagine people listening, they're like, oh my God, it's peak season. What if I do this wrong? So what are some common mistakes that you see people make as they are dipping their toe back into the dating world?
It's exactly what you said when you in your answer is you start gravitating towards people that were just like your ex. And your ex may be great on his own, he may be great for someone else, but wasn't serving you. And so people tend to do what's comfortable versus what's right. So even though you might think, oh, I know what red flags are, I
Mhm.
know what wasn't right, there's like a magnet towards familiarity, right? It's like that old comfy sweater that you just can't get rid of. And dating patterns are very much the same way, that we have this gravitational pull. So let's just say, for example, you're coming out of divorce and you're the giver and you were with the taker. And so givers and takers magnetize towards each other dysfunctionally, because what you want to do in this process is givers want to be with givers ultimately, because you know how exhausting it can be to give and give and give, but you can never give enough to a taker because they just want to take. So that is a hard pattern to correct. It is possible with intervention, but I think the statistics bear out that if you don't have help around this, and whatever that help looks like to you, 67% of second marriages end in divorce and 73% of third marriages. So we keep doing the same things, same dude or same chick, different face, year over year. And when we're like, oh my God, how did I waste 12 months or 18 months with this person? Because you know what? You've got high coping mechanisms. If you were married to a taker, you know how to take abuse. You know how to take crumbs, right? So anybody that gives you even a little bit more than that seems better than your ex.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the hardest things that I had to learn, because I'm a giver and I was with a taker, and it was comfortable to find that same dynamic. And I remember the discomfort of someone giving back to me. It was like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. Do I take this? Do I not take this? And then part of that had to do with the fact that, yes, Wendy, you're worthy of receiving. You get to receive as much as, if not more than, you give. And a lot of that comes into play with your self-worth. And I always talk about how self-care and self-worth are tied together. And part of us taking care of ourselves is it's mind, body, spirit. And all of that is what you also are trying to communicate in a photo and a profile, like 140 characters of
Tweet,
work.
basically.
Say that again.
A tweet,
Or a tweet.
right?
And
It's like the length of the tweet, ultimately.
yes. And at the same time, you're putting yourself out there with that limited inventory, I should say. And then you're trying to decipher on the other side the same, is this person worthy? So what are some tips that people can start using around creating their own profiles? It's a two-part question. And then what should they be looking for? Because I know from having all of my listeners get to know that I did Bella's Love Lab a couple of months ago, and it was eye-opening. And there were a lot of things I was doing and a lot of things I was doing wrong. So what are some tips that I know you've been out in doing a lot of interviews and talking about some of these tips. So what are some ways that our listeners can really put their best selves out there? And then also, what is it that they can start looking for that's different than what they were married to?
Yeah, again, really big question. So the first thing to do is decide on, take it slowly. Pick one site or app that feels good to you. Do your research in your area and see who you're looking for. And you can get on the apps and just play around as a free person and see who's on there. And then you can decide, okay, spend 30 days on that app. Now, how are you successful? We're going to talk about two parts to this. Number one, you've got to think about the materials that you put up online as your personal marketing in cyberspace. Think about grocery shopping in a store like we used to in pre-COVID, haha. But if you've got your shopping cart and you're walking down the cereal aisle, there's 1,000 boxes of cereal, right? Now, imagine yourself as a box of cereal, but now it's online dating. How do you get the right shopper to pause at your box of cereal, look, and say, I think I want to put this in my cart and bring it home and try it? And so here you have to think about this with the same analogy. This is your personal marketing in cyberspace. You've got to have the right pictures and you've got to have the right text, just like that attractive cereal box does. When you want to have pictures that are current, 6 is the magic number. Your first picture should be an opening headshot, and that's a close shot of you. Maybe it's your neck or to your waist, but it really shows you looking right at the camera and smiling, not wearing sunglasses, not with your best friend or your kid in the photos, not looking off into the distance in this photo. High resolution. Show people you respect yourself and invest in good photos that are really going to get you somewhere. And then you got to back that up with body shots. Because today, if you've only got a few cute little headshots, I know a lot of people are like, I've gained the COVID-19 being at home. You know what? Look around you. It's not only supermodel bods that are in relationships. There are lids for every pot. Take some great body shots of yourself and pop them online. And you're going to start to see, you're going to get some results.
Yeah, and I think that that's really important for people to understand is have kindness for yourself. And I always tell my clients, like, ensure that when you're taking these pictures, there's something about you you love, right? I love my green eyes. I love that I have a waistline. So when I am putting these pictures together, I make sure that my eyes pop, right?
And
So
they do.
thank you. I make sure that my eyes pop. And then I also make sure to accentuate like my waist. And I also have great legs. I wear clothes that, again, highlight the features that I love, but also disguise the ones that maybe not so thrilled with. And I think that a lot of people who are listening to, especially women, we're like our own worst critics, right? We are so mean to ourselves. We would never say half the things that we say to ourselves to our friends. But I think it's really important that you guys listen to what Bella is saying. You have 6 opportunities, right, to make a really good first impression. And I always say, put yourself out there being authentically you, because you're going to attract somebody that wants that in their future partner. And that also comes in the verbiage you write. Like, I'm very upfront. I am a mom. So what are some ways that what is your point of view on how honest people should be when they're writing their 140 character profile?
So be honest about all of the things that the sites ask you for. Be honest about your age. Be honest about where you live. Be honest about your height. Be honest about your zip code, right? These are the basic things. Don't lie about those because it starts with bad karma. Now, in the essay section, what I'd say is this is a time to be positive and focus on the things that you love about yourself that differentiate you from other people. This is where you're going to put your best at show and be specific and think about one sentence little vignettes about you that are quirky and fun and put those together in a personal statement. This is not the place to say, I'm a cancer survivor. I've been divorced 4 times. I'm unemployed. People need to earn your story. They don't get it up front.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And what I think a lot of people, they don't know that balance. It's like, how honest do I be versus, laying all your cards out on the table right away versus just, throwing out some bird seeds every now and then.
since you're talking about putting your cards out on the table, let's go with that metaphor. There's no card game that I know of that an adult plays where all the cards are put out on the table at once. We reveal our hands over time, depending on the game. And the online dating game, that's a great metaphor here, is that you've got your cards, and at some point you're going to lay down one card. And then maybe a week later, you may lay down another card as you feel more comfortable and that person has earned your trust. But this is not about being disingenuous if you don't put every wart you have in your online profile. Look, we are all imperfect human beings. We all have had struggles. We've all got stuff. Every single person on those sites, whether you think so or not. I'm telling you, I coach thousands of people. Everybody has their stuff, and it's not the time to put it out there because, like I said, you get to decide when you're going to reveal those parts of you.
Yeah, that's great. Great advice. And I would also imagine that plays a role in the type of partner that you are attracting. So, what can people look for to attract that higher caliber person?
So the best you can do is have 6 great photos, right? Because we're all visual people. Men are visual, women are visual, right? And so having that out there, that is to attract the right people, have a good set of photos. Ideally, you can look at photos on our website, smartdatingacademy.com. There's a lot of great photo examples if you want to just see what good photos are like and what we're putting out there. Because I always say you want to know what the best of the best are doing from a competition standpoint because you don't want to fall behind. So don't look at all the janky old photos and say, well, I'm better than that. Look at the best because you want to be attracting the best people. So you want to play in that top 1%. So that's the best thing you can do to attract great people.
Yeah. And the one thing, and I know I asked you this during Love Lab, and I'd love to ask you again here on the podcast, which is that, and this might be a generalization of a statement, but you'll definitely find women who have more high caliber professionally taken pictures versus men. And I can say that I can say that the male side, because I've been on dating apps for on and off over the last couple of years. I remember asking you, I'm like, so am I looking for someone who has these really great, like professional, like lifestyle pictures too? Because I feel like that's few and far between for men. So if that's, I guess the question is really around, is that what people are looking for too? Or can they be a little bit more, oh, my friend snapped this picture and that's okay too?
100%. So we don't
Okay.
even have our clients reveal, oh yeah, I got my photos taken at Smart Dating Academy. It's a friend of a friend took the photos because
Right.
I'm their friend and my photographer is my friend. So we just say a friend of a friend snapped these photos for me. Again, people need to earn your story. And so if you can't spring for professional photos, today's iPhones are just as good as many professional cameras. Have a friend of yours snap pictures, dress yourself up in 6 different outfits and take 6 different pictures and post those suckers on a site or an app. Okay. Because you don't want to pull from your old inventory of stuff that doesn't look like you. Remember, people want to date the person in the picture. And if your pictures don't look like you anymore because they're 20 pounds ago or 3 years ago or blonde hair ago, whatever it was, like you have to look like you because people build fantasies around these photos.
Yes, they do. And as do
You. And this is the thing. We all do that. Like you see a guy, for example, who's got glasses on in 6 of his photos, and you've got a thing for glasses, and then he shows up to the Zoom with no glasses on.
Yeah.
It's like, where are your glasses? You want to date the guy that you dreamt about from the photos. And that's what I tell people. Don't have pictures of your hair 6 inches shorter or blonder or whatever it is, because you need to look like you do today. Those photos, my goal for my clients when we do their professional photos is I want someone to say, wow, you look just like your photos or even better. That's hallelujah praise.
Totally. That's like the biggest compliment anyone can receive when they say to you, oh my God, you're so much prettier than your pictures. And you think your pictures are pretty awesome at that
Yeah.
time. So, what are some other final tips that you can share with everybody listening today about jumping back in or sort of diving headfirst into our peak season that we're in right now?
Yeah, do it. Like I said, pick one site or one app and then no red flags. Okay. If somebody in their profile says, I'm not looking for drama, Don't say to yourself, I'm not a drama queen. I'm not going to bring you drama. That is a red flag. Do you know what that's code for? I will bring you drama. That is a red flag in and of itself. Anybody that seems negative, like they're ranting, they're talking about their deal breakers. And don't go into, please like me, please approve me. Oh, he says, do not contact me if your pictures are old, if you're unemployed. Oh, I'm not any of those things. That person is fire hosing negativity. What do you think it's going to be like to date that person? Under somebody's judgmental, critical, angry eye, no thank you. Learn to read for red flags immediately. Somebody who's controlling, they want to move things, they're fast and furious, they want to lock you down after 3, 6, 9 dates, and it feels intoxicating. But suddenly over the weeks you start to go, something seems a little off here, but I'm not sure. Always listen to your gut's always right.
Oh, could not be truer. Could not be truer advice. And I always say what people are putting out there, either of what they do or don't want, is a reflection of something going on within themselves. And guys, your intuition, your gut, it speaks to you. It's a physical reaction. Start paying attention to the signs into your body, and that goes across all areas of life. My intuition was something I ignored for way too long. And now anytime I get an inclination of something that feels uncomfortable, like my voice starts speaking
Why?
up. Exactly.
He's
So
out.
peace out. Yeah. And I think you said something really important too, is that, and you've said this a couple of times, is that people get to earn your time. Time is one of the things that I don't think people put enough boundaries around. And especially when you're dating, your time is really valuable because you could be giving that time to somebody else, to your kids, to your family, to your business, to your hobby, whatever it is. So before you're just like, oh, yeah, they check a couple of boxes, let's give it a go. No, your time is very valuable. You should be very clear on what you're looking for. And if they don't check every freaking box, have some self-respect and value your time a little bit more, because it drives me crazy when people just, they're like, I'll check it out and see. He seems okay. And we had a nice conversation, but the butt.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think make sure, to your point, that the check boxes that you're looking for are the right ones. So often we get so caught up in thinking we need good on paper, and we get obsessed with what those things are. Like, he needs to be this tall and he needs to have this many degrees, or she needs to have this and that. And it's all what I call the quantitative stuff. But
Yeah.
and we lose what we should be feeling qualitatively. Do you feel happy when you're with this person? Do you feel safe? Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel at ease? Is the relationship easy? These are things that you actually want to be looking for. And as you navigate through the dating process, a couple of things that I don't want to leave you guys without having said: you should be dating multiple people at the same time. Have a dating funnel, especially all of you, my friends, that are coming out of divorce. You've been in a monogamous relationship for a long time. And the tendency, what you want to do is date one person at a time. That is a mistake. You want to have a dating funnel. Okay. And I'm not saying you want to be shacking up and sleeping with all these people, but this is old school courtship right now. And during COVID, these are multiple video dates with different people. It makes dating more fun, and it makes it less likely that you're going to end up with someone who's not good for you. So you've got to have a dating funnel. Date slowly. Don't get exclusive with someone until, I don't know, 15, 20 dates, and no sex. Like, we've got a whole process that we navigate people through. I'm trying to brain dump as much as I can for you guys right now in this half an hour, which normally takes 6 months with our clients step by step. But yeah, this is a slow process. Dating is a marathon. It is not a sprint.
No, it is not. And if they are pressuring you or trying to get you into bed, it is really red flag. Yeah. Peace
Bye-bye.
out.
Fairy godmother, for those of you watching, says, no, this is my wand. So I'm putting good zhuzh around all of you listeners, all of you watchers, that you're going to find healthy, happy love in 2021.
Absolutely. And the other thing I will say too, like, I remember when I was dating a couple of guys at the same time, like, my friends became a little judgy of me, right. And the one thing that I kept trying to explain to them was like, why don't I get to do this? Like when we were in college, we were going out on dates and dating different people. Just because you're older and I have kids at home, why does that mean that I can't be dating a couple of people? And to be honest, it helped me to also narrow the field. It was like I would go out on a couple of dates with some men, and it was nice. But then you also, as you start dating multiple people, you're like, oh, this person doesn't have that, but I really love this about this person. And it helps you kind of weed out the competition.
Completely. And it's funny, as I was telling Wendy, I had a conversation with a common friend of ours, Michelle, this morning, and she
Mhm.
said, Bella, you've got to tell people for sure on the podcast today that don't take dating advice from your friends. Like they don't know. They might be well intentioned. They have no idea what, either they're married and they don't know what the dating world is, or they're single just like you and they don't know any better. So please mention, get some professional help around this. With our one-on-one clients, we tell them at some point you're going to unveil this person that you've been seeing quietly under our close watch to make sure there's no red flags. And one day you're going to go out and be like, you guys, I want to introduce you to somebody who's really important to me.
Yeah.
And everybody will be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I had no idea. And that's fine, because as long as they've taken time to earn you and they've earned us, this person, you're going to be in good shape. But don't take advice from everybody that will give it to you. If you know what, if you had tooth pain, are you going to ask four of your neighbors what kind of dental work you're going to need done? No. No, you're going to go to a dentist who's probably going to refer you to an endodontist if you need a root canal. Go to people that can actually help you. Your friends are well intentioned and they mean, but find people who know. 20 years ago, certain companies like Wendy's, companies like mine didn't exist, but online dating and the accessibility of people has brought with it this bonanza and amazing things, but it's also brought with it confusion and paralysis, which has lent itself to sites and people like Wendy and me helping people walk through. Wendy walks you through divorce. We walk you after that process through dating to make sure that you don't end up back in divorce and back in Wendy's basket again.
No, that is definitely not where I want people to wind up again. But I have to tell everybody listening, like I said, I've known you now for over a year, and even just doing Love Lab with you guys, Bella knows her shit. She knows what she's doing. She helped me very much so in creating my latest dating profile and putting my best foot forward in not just putting myself out there, but also taking a stand for what I know that I get to have in my life and the type of partner that I want. So, Bella, how can people? I know you dropped your site again, but how else? I want you to say it one more time. But how can people get a hold of you? And I also know that you have a free gift that you'd like to offer everybody too. So,
Yeah. So a couple things. Our website is smartdatingacademy.com. You can sign up. You can get our free email newsletter that comes out probably 3 times a week. Every Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, so that's 5 Pacific and 8 Eastern, I do a free Instagram live show. We call it our Smart Dating Instafam. You can follow me at Smart Dating Academy. I take live questions, and it's an incredibly fun, supportive, inspiring community. And if you're interested in the online dating Love Lab or our one-on-one coaching services, you can find all of that on our website, smartdatingacademy.com. We have the online dating Love Lab on January 17th. It will rock your world. You'll have 2 awesome profiles that you would have never written on your own. As Wendy said, it makes you think about what a cool, confident, awesome badass you are and put it out there in a way that's super compelling to people.
absolutely. That is one of the things I said to Bella before we started. And one of my biggest testimonials of Love Lab is that it not only helped me to create that dating profile that I felt confident about, but it also reinforced how amazing of a woman I am and how whoever my partner is damn lucky to have me in their life. So, Bella, as always, thank you so much for being my guest today and for your friendship and for sharing your wisdom with my audience today. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it is an honor to be here. So thank you for having me, and Happy New Year. And I will be
Thank you.
back anytime you'd like.
Yes, you will be back. because this is a very relevant topic. And I feel throughout the course of the year, there's different seasons that are upon us. So I will take you up on that opportunity. And everybody tuning in, I hope that you took a ton of notes. I know there was a lot of really great information that Bella shared today with you guys. So please be sure to save this one, listen to it again. And if you have any feedback that I'm open to hearing, I always love hearing what you loved about this episode, what your aha moments are, your takeaways. Do not hesitate to email me, wendy@wendysterling.net. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Sending you tons of love, light, and joy as always. Mwah. Bye, everybody.